to the first episode of The Set TV. The Set TV is hosted by Ryan and Deanna Teal. On today's episode, we have DJ Muldoon as our special guest. This is The Set TV, DJ Muldoon.
Spartans stood up to an entire army of Persians. How did they do that? It wasn't necessarily by them fighting on their own ground. It wasn't necessarily them, having, technologically superior weapons, because they didn't. How did they beat the Persians? They beat them through teamwork. You had a person on the right-hand side of you had his shield protecting you, while you actually had your sword and you protected the person next to you. Only that way were they able to beat that many people, millions and millions of Persians. Guys, we're in a fight. We're in a fight against, people that want to take over our industry. People that want to make money off of our back every single day behind the chair. The only way we could ever beat this, the only way that we can ever come out on top and beat the Persians is for us to unite. Unite as a industry. Hairdressers uniting. We need to make that wall. We need to protect our buddies in our own communities and spread that word throughout the country. I believe that there is a movement of hairdressers that are doing that, and you can do that as well. How do I do that, Ryan? How do I do that without, having my own TV show? Or how do I do that without having videos? All you have to do is support independent education. If somebody comes to your town and is doing some sort of event, go see it. If you do some sort of event, expect them to go see it as well. In music scenes never start unless other bands, other local bands go see a band that's playing and supports each other. We have to support each other. We have to protect each other. Support independent education. People are always like hung up on their Mason Pearson brush, especially people that dress hair. They're always like, you have to have the Mason Pearson brush. The Mason Pearson brush is the only brush on the market. I love my Mason Pearson brush. I have 2 of my own. In fact, everybody in my family, I believe, have 2 of their own. But I'm really lucky because when we're on the road, we actually get to look around at some of the other tools that might actually be just as cool as that brush, or any other brush on the market for that matter. 2 of my favorite brushes that I found recently are the Primp Oval and Finishing Brush. First we have the Primp Oval Brush. Very similar to the Mason Pearson Master Brush. You have a boar bristle, hand-sewn boar bristle, just like your Mason Pearson. A little bit softer plastic bristle, and that's okay. I don't mind a little bit softer than the regular Mason Pearson. You have a wonderful handcrafted wood handle, as well as a hook to hang from your station or tool belt. The back of the brush has a nice little place to put your hand, little carvings to put your hand. My other favorite brush from Primp is the Finishing Brush. Again, hand-sewn boar bristles. It has a wonderful oval shape, so you can turn it up on its side, and it hugs the head really nicely. You also have these really nice little additions on the side, and that's for either smoothing out your back brushing or even popping it up on the side and smoothing underneath the ponytail. A very nice wooden handle, handcrafted. You can find both of these brushes at www.coolestsalon.com, but I'm not really about sending you everybody to my website. I mean, please go visit the website, but that's not what we're in this for. I just want to show you cool spots. So you can also find it from where I get it from, which is shearworld.com. And tell them Ryan sent you.
I started doing hair when I was 18. I'm 38 now, so 20 years ago.
Okay.
Started my career at Vidal Sassoon in Santa Monica. And the rest is history.
What do you like the best about the industry? What's the best thing about this industry, truly, right now?
I mean, the thing for me, like the best thing for me is the fact that it's just completely, it's art, you know what I mean, and it's controlled art. It's, you know, just playing around with hair is quite unique. As far as like right now with our industry, the fact that we have this kind of independent movement kind of thing, where we can do what we want, say what we want, freedom. You know, so it's very important.
What do you like the least?
I really dislike the controlled aspect of the industry as far as like product companies and stuff like that. So when it comes to like sales and shit like that, I'm not really into that.
Sure.
I'm quite lucky and unique in a sense because I've always kind of been able to just cut hair, you know, and obviously started as a Sassoon, and then even at Paul Mitchell, you know, I was never selling anything, I was just doing hair, and I had a platform to do it on, which was kind of cool. Now it's great because it's individual, and I get to do hair with my friends, and we do what the fuck we want.
Like the show we did yesterday.
Yeah, like what we did yesterday here in Portland, it was cool. Yeah.
Okay, so I've heard from a mutual friend of ours that was not the thing that you hate the most about our industry. And so I got you this present today, and it was actually Gerard Scarpese actually kind of told me that would be a pretty good present for you. So
Let's have a look at this. Oh, I know what they are. I know exactly what these are.
Oh, I'm sorry, I left the tags on.
Would you like me to elaborate
Yes,
as
I
to
would
why?
I would really like that, yeah.
So, it's 1995, 96 maybe, and doing a haircut, and I'm an assistant at the time, so everything I'm doing
there's always eyes watching me. There's, at the time there's like 6 or 7 art directors at the academy, so it was like everyone's like got to see what you're doing. And Gerard was a buddy, but he was also, he is a teacher at the school, and so I'm doing this one length haircut, and one length longer than the hairline. So the thing is that if you're going to do anything with an outline, like a bob or that kind of thing, is the client has to be legs uncrossed. So I've got this girl, I'm doing her hair, and her legs are crossed all the time. Gerard comes over and he's like, "What are you doing?" Like, it's sacrilegious. You can't be doing that. Why is her legs fucking crossed or whatever? And this girl wasn't wearing any underwear, so that's why her legs were crossed. And he comes over and he makes her uncross her legs so that we can check the outline. So thanks, G.
So what would you be doing? What would you be doing if you weren't doing hair right now?
Oh, Greg. I have no idea. I remember wanting to be a pilot. Actually, I wanted to be in the Air Force, the Royal Air Force. But obviously that was never going to fucking happen. But I loved like architecture and stuff like that, which is so cliche with being a hairdresser. And I don't really know what I would be doing, to be honest with you. I mean, it's everything for me. It's my life. It kind of rules it. So, but yeah, I wanted to be a pilot, and I liked art. But I became a hairdresser. But I became a hairdresser because I grew up in the industry, and it was kind of like a major influence. Yeah, I guess that's what.
If you could go back in time, what would you do differently with your career?
I don't think I'd do anything differently. I think there'd be certain people I wouldn't want to cross paths with that I've met with. But I have no regrets about what I've done. I love what I do, and I think people see that when I do it. So yeah. I wouldn't really want to change what I do.
No regrets.
No regrets. No, not at all. That's cool. I give no fucks.
So who are your heroes in the industry? I know that you've mentioned in the past Stacey Broughton. Do you have any other like heroes that either heroes of like past that may have passed away, or heroes that are still around to this day?
For sure. Obviously, number one's Vidal. Just an insane. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for him. Like we do it, My time at Sassoon, I'm very lucky to have worked in a team that was, we were all very young, and we developed a lot of stuff together, and we're still around. We might have all moved to our different places, but to name a few is Gerard and Tracy Sakasitz. Huge mentor to me. Kind of molded how I moved into doing what I do. But to me, like the biggest like influence artistically in hair has been Tim Hartley. I think he's amazing. Technical side of things, I used to love watching Marquez cut hair. Like back in the 90s kind of stuff. He does great hair now too, but I think that was pivotal to me, like his control and, all that stuff. But Tim just, everything he does just blows me away. And, there's a few others out there. Peter Gray, exceptional hairdresser. Yeah. And, my friends too, like being around, yourself and Ira and, loads of us, Douglas, House of Pop and that. Just, it kind of feeds an energy and that. So, all big major influences, definitely.
What do you do in your spare time? What does DJ Muldoon do in his spare time?
I spend if I'm not doing hair, I'm with my daughter, and that's my world. Sure. Yeah. I love spending time with her, and she keeps it all grounded. Our industry is very egotistical, and it's very easy to get fucking carried away and get big-headed about what we do and stuff and that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But she keeps me grounded. It's a different thing. So I spend every minute that I'm not doing hair with her. Other things, I love music. I go to a lot of concerts, and that's one of the like key things in hair for me. With a lot of us, that are friends and stuff, that we really are really influenced by music. It's funny, the last 6 or 7 years, me and Ira have just killed it with concerts, and I never did that before. And I think we made it kind of like a pact, maybe. You know what I mean? That's what we do, and I think it influences us with what we do all the time, big time. So music is a huge thing for me when I'm not doing hair, and that's it really. I mean, I don't know what else I do. Go to the grocery store, buy shit. That's it.
So what's your favorite One Direction song then?
That's What Makes You Beautiful.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, speaking of music, and obviously One Direction, because I saw that you had gone to that as well as the Wings show, which I probably would have rather have had a colonoscopy than going to see Wings. What are you listening to lately? Like, what's on your playlist? What do you like to listen to? What's in your car?
It varies. There's such a big catalogue of music that I like. If I'm in my car, I'm usually with my daughter, so we're definitely listening to, pop and whatever it is. I'm English, so I like that stuff. not afraid of boy bands and girl bands and all that stuff. But yeah, that's definitely. It's everything, man. I'm hugely influenced by a lot of different music, and it can change every week. So nothing specific. Lots of different stuff.
So, what's your favorite band of all time?
Favorite band of all time is Queen. I don't categorize it as a band. A huge Bob Marley fan. But Queen was like, when I was a kid, Freddie Mercury was just the shit. I thought he was insane. Like, nobody could do it. Everyone always goes on about Mick Jagger and he's the best. Nah, Freddie's the best frontman. And for me, like, that was, as a kid, just seeing him prancing around on stage in a fucking leotard and a half-cut mic stand and just giving it, like, no one does that. And no one's got the pipes to fucking, deal with that, so. But Queen, definitely my fave, yeah. Bob Marley, the most selfless man ever, and a poet, a true poet. Got really into him for a while. There was a reggae DJ period for sure. Sure. Yeah. The dub thing.
So my favorite question that I always ask anybody whenever I interview anybody for anything, my favorite question, my last question that I'll ask you, is what sort of animal do you identify with? Not what sort of animal do you want to be.
Wiener dog.
Why?
Because they're the boss.
Awesome. DJ, it's always wonderful hanging out with you, man.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Thank you.
Cheers.